Welcome to Telangana Open School Society Science and Technology 10th class digital classes. Before entering into the lesson, please think and discuss. Have you ever observed a house which is under construction in your locality? What is the basic building block of that house? Usually nowadays houses are made with the brick walls, isn't it? So the wall is made up of bricks. So the basic building block is the brick. Then what are the building blocks of living beings around us? How the living being's body is made up of? Living being's body is made with the cells. What do cells do in our body? The activities which are carried by us are indirectly carried by the cells in our body. What are the components present in a cell? How tissues and organs form? Let us learn about these concepts in this lesson. Cell, tissues and organs. This is the 7th chapter in Science and Technology in Biology part. From this lesson, the learners are going to learn that identifies the differences between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells, plant and animal cells, and mitosis and meiosis. Classifies the cells based on their genetic material. Explains structure and functions of a cell, organelles, tissues and organs. Gives reason for cells having different shapes and sizes. Draws the diagrams of plant cell, animal cell, mitosis, etc. Applies the knowledge of preventive measures required to protect sense organs. We are going to learn about these concepts in this lesson. Cell, plant cell, animal cell, differences between plant and animal cell, diversity in cells, cell theory, cell division. When we come to tissues, plant tissues, animal tissues. In plant tissues, we are going to learn about meristematic tissue, permanent tissues. In permanent tissues, there are dermal tissue, ground tissue and vascular tissue present. In animal tissues, epithelial tissue, muscular tissue or muscle tissue, connective tissue, nervous tissue present. In organs, we are going to learn about the sense organs. They are eye, ear, skin, tongue and nose. Let us learn about these concepts one by one in detail. Cell. Who observed the cell first? Where cells were found first? In the year 1665, British scientist Robert Hooke observed the cells in thin slices of cork of oak tree. He observed these slices of cork in the microscope made by himself. The structures resembled like honeycomb consist of empty spaces or empty box-like structures. Hence, Robert Hooke called these empty spaces as cells. So later, so many scientists worked on these concepts like cells. Later, they are all found that all living organisms are made up of cells. Are these any common features present in cells? Yes, there are some common components present in all cells. They are plasma membrane or cell membrane, cytoplasm, jelly-like region within the cell in which other cellular components are found. The third one is genetic material responsible for our characters. So these three are the common features observed in all cells. Generally, cells are divided into two types based on the structure of nucleus present in it. First one is prokaryotic and the second one is eukaryotic. Prokaryotic cells means single-celled organisms. These are all single-celled organisms. Genetic material found in the central part of the cell and it does not contain membrane around it. That means genetic material it is open, it is floating in the cytoplasm. Examples for prokaryotic cells are bacteria, cyanobacteria. Eukaryotic cell. It is a cell that has membrane bound nucleus. That means there is a membrane around the genetic material. This membrane separates genetic material from cytoplasm. Examples are plant and animal cells. The cells in our body also eukaryotic cells. There are so many organelles present in a cell. We will learn about each organelle in detail. Before going to that, all living organisms are made up of cells. We already know that. So every living organism contains one cell or more than one cell. Let us observe about it. Now you are observing the living things. They are made up of only one cell. So they are called as unicellular organisms or single celled organisms. The first one is paramecium and the second one is amoeba. Third one is euglena. These are unicellular organisms. These living organisms made up of only one cell. That one cell carry out all the life processes present in it. And what about multicellular organisms? Multicellular means they have more than one cell. What about us? We are multicellular organisms. Our body contains crores and crores of cells, trillions of cells. Organisms that are made up of only one cell which carry out all the functions are called unicellular organisms. Examples are amoeba, chlamydomonas, paramecium, euglena, etc. Organisms are composed of more than one cell called multicellular organisms. Plants, animals, and we human beings also multicellular organisms. Now you are observing the plant cell. Let us observe the organelles present in a plant cell. The first one and the four most important one organelle is nucleus. You are observing the blue ball here. This blue ball is nucleus. This nucleus has the thread-like structures called genetic material or the chromatin, network of chromatin. What this nucleus do in cell, it regulates and controls all the functions of the cell. It contains genetic information and it controls all the functions. Okay, and now you are observing the organelle which is around the nucleus, and it has particles, red particles on it. That red particles are called ribosomes. These ribosomes attach it to endoplasmic reticulum, and some ribosomes are scattered in the cytoplasm. Here you can observe these are ribosomes, and these red particles are also ribosomes. What they do? They prepare proteins. They synthesize proteins. They are the sites of protein synthesis. Okay, and later the next one organelle is Golgi complex or Golgi body. What Golgi body do? It stores substances and transports substances in the cell. And next one, mitochondria. In mitochondria cellular respiration takes place. What is cellular respiration? Oxidation of food materials into energy in cells, that is called cellular respiration. Here energy is released in this mitochondria, so mitochondria are called as powerhouses of the cell. Okay, so they are the energy releasing organelles. Next one, lysosomes. What do lysosomes do? Waste materials that need to be destroyed are transported to lysosomes. Enzymes present in lysosomes digest waste materials, and sometimes along with waste material, lysosomes also digested. So they are called as suicidal bags. And now you are observing the interesting organelle, chloroplast. These are green in color and performs photosynthesis process. The process of converting carbon dioxide and water into glucose in presence of sunlight in chloroplast is called photosynthesis. That means photosynthesis process is the process which prepares food and oxygen. So this process is carried out in chloroplast. These chloroplasts only present in plant cells, not in animal cells. If we have these chloroplasts in our body, then we can also prepare our own food. Interesting, no? And next organelle, you are observing the balloon-like structure, that is vacuole. It is a fluid-filled sac-like structure. It participates in secreting, excreting and storing substances happens in this vacuole. Okay, Now moving on to the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is a jelly-like fluid which is present in between cell membrane and nucleus. You are observing the cell membrane, this one light green colored membrane, that is cell membrane. It is also called as plasma membrane. Below the plasma membrane and in between nucleus there is a jelly-like fluid present. That fluid is called cytoplasm. All organelles floats in this cytoplasm. Okay, and now I am moving on to cell membrane. It surrounds the cell from outside and gives protection to it. It allows only useful materials to the cell. Okay, and cell wall, you are observing the cell wall here, the dark green colored membrane. It is the outermost layer around the cell membrane. It gives definite shape and protection to the cell. It is present only in plant cell, not in animals. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Here it is smooth endoplasmic reticulum. It is the manufacturing site of lipids. And now moving on to rough endoplasmic reticulum. Ribosomes present on its surface. So this rough endoplasmic reticulum is the manufacturing site of proteins. These are the organelles present in a plant cell. Let us see the organelles present in animal cell. Yeah, now you are observing the animal cell. Here, are you observing the cell wall here? Any cell wall present? Cell membrane? Yes, this is the cell membrane. Here, you can clearly observe that there is only one membrane around the animal cell. When compared to plant cell, it has two membranes. Cell wall and cell membrane. Here, cell membrane only present. And vacuoles, Golgi vesicles, mitochondria, Golgi complex, rough endoplasmic reticulum, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, nucleus, all other organelles present except chloroplast. Chloroplast only present in plant cells. Here absent. See the vacuole size. Vacuole size is small when compared to plant cells. See the vacuole size here, larger. And one interesting organelle, that is centrioles. Centrioles only observed in animal cells. These are rod-like structures made of 9 microtubules. Centrioles play an important role in cell division. So the differences between plant and animal cells are: plant cells have cell wall, chloroplast, and the vacuoles are larger in size, centrioles absent. If you go for animal cell, cell wall absent, chloroplast absent, vacuoles are smaller in size, and centrioles are present. And the rest of the organelles are same in both the cells. Diversity in cells. What is diversity? Observe here. Here is the picture. From stem cell, muscle cell, formed fat cell, bone cell, blood cell, nervous cell, epithelial cell, immune cells, sex cells, that is ovum and sperm. So are they look alike? No. The structure and shape is entirely different from each other. So why do they looking like that? Why there is a diversity in cells? Because every cell has unique function. To perform that function, the structure of that cell made. So if you observe the nerve cell, why nerve cell has branches like a tree? What is the role of nerve cell? Why does sperm cell has a tail? Because nerve cell has to transport information throughout the body, so it spread its branches. Tail of sperm helps in its movement in the female reproductive system for reaching the ovum. So every cell has unique structure to perform their unique functions. So that is why they have diversity in their structure and function. Cell theory. After the so much of work in the field of cell and cell products, scientists have found that, especially German scientist Theodor Schwann, a zoologist, he studied on animals, and Matthias Jakob Leiden, a botanist, studied on plants. suggested that cells are the basic unit of structure and function of all life. So they proposed the cell theory first, uh, and their work was resembled in that cell theory, but they did not told about the origin of new cells, how they are producing in our body. So later in 1858, Rudolf Virchow observed that cells divide into produce more cells. He proposed that all cells arise from pre-existing cells. The collective observations of three scientists form the cell theory, which states that all organisms are made up of cells and product of cells. All the life functions of an organism occurs within the cell. All cells come from pre-existing cells. These are the key principles of cell theory. How new cells are formed from the pre-existing cells? How do our wounds get healed after few days? If you get a wound on our hand, that wound will healed after few days. What happened here? The cells around the wound undergoes many cell divisions. New cells are formed there. That new cells replaces the place of the dead cells there in the wound. So after a few days, completely that wound will be healed up. So what are the cell divisions takes place in living organisms? There are two types of cell divisions occurs in living beings. First one is mitosis. The second one is meiosis. Mitosis occurs in somatic cells. Meiosis occurs in reproductive cells. And now before mitosis starts, there is a phase occurs that is called interphase. In interphase, G1, S, G2 phases are there. In these three phases, cell go so many changes and makes itself prepare for the cell division. After interphase, cell undergoes the division, prophase. What happens in prophase? It is the longest phase in mitosis. During prophase, chromatin condenses into chromosomes. Every chromosome split vertically and form chromatid. This chromatid attached to centromere. The nuclear envelope or membrane breaks down. So these are the changes occurs in prophase. And metaphase. During metaphase, spindle fibers attached to the centromere of each pair of sister chromatids. That sister chromatids line up at the equator at the center of the cell. Anaphase. During anaphase, sister chromatids separate and the centromeres divide. The sister chromatids are pulled apart by the shortening of the spindle fibers. Next phase, telophase. During telophase, the chromosomes begin to uncoil and form chromatin. The spindle also break down and new nuclear membrane form. And after telophase, cytokinesis occurs. Up to yet, division took place in the nucleus. And now, division taking place in cytoplasm, in cytokinesis. This is the final stage of cell division. During cytokinesis, cytoplasm splits into two and the cell divides. There is no difference in the chromosomes of daughter cells and parent cell. The chromosomes present in the parent cell are equal to the chromosomes of the daughter cell. That's it. That is mitosis division. Here you can observe this is prophase. What happens in this prophase? Chromosomes undergo changes and forms as chromatids. And here spindle fiber is produced in metaphase. And the chromatids, sister chromatids were in the center of the cell. And in anaphase, chromosomes are moving towards the poles. In telophase, see the chromosomes becomes as a chromatin, network of chromatin, and the cell membrane is also formed around, or nuclear membrane is also formed around the chromosomes. See, here cell has only one nucleus. Observe here, after telophase, in telophase you are observing the two nuclei. And later what happens? Cytokinesis occurs. See what happens in cytokinesis? Cytoplasm divides. See, after the cytokinesis, single cell forms two daughter cells. These cells are same as the parent cell in structure and functions. Another one division, that is meiosis. This division occurs in reproductive cells. Here in this division, single parent cell produces four daughter cells. The number of chromosomes reduced by half here. This occurs in reproductive cells. Especially the main difference between these two divisions are mitosis occurs in somatic cells, meiosis occurs in reproductive cells. There two daughter cells formed, here four daughter cells formed. Chromosomes are same in mitosis, here chromosomes are reduced to half in meiosis. Let us observe the phases of meiosis. Meiosis occurs in basically two different phases, two different divisions. In first division, what happens? Parent cell divided into two daughter cells. What happens in this division? Chromosome number is not multiplied here. So the chromosomes which is present in the cell is equally distributed to the daughter cells. So if the parent cell have diploid state of chromosomes, the daughter cells only have haploid state. That means it have 2x, means it divided chromosomes into this one x and this one x. So here chromosomes are not multiplied in this meiosis first phase. So chromosomes directly undergo division, and they usually there are other changes occurs as in the prophase of mitosis, and this one is the second phase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, and finally two daughter cells are formed. Here the number of chromosomes are reduced to half when compared to parent cell. Then these two cells undergo again division. This division is similar to mitosis. That means here chromosome number multiplies, and then it undergoes prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. Finally each cell produces two cells, and this cell also produces two cells. Finally single cell produces four daughter cells in meiosis. What are the main principles of the cell theory? All living beings made up of cells. The structural and functional units of living beings are cells. New cells are formed from the pre-existing cells. These are the principles. What are the phases of mitosis? Phases of mitosis are prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, and cytokinesis. What are the changes occur in prophase? You have to write the changes which are occur in prophase here. Plant tissues. Plant tissues, before going to see the plant tissues, let us discuss about these questions. How will a stump grow? Do you know what is stump? Stump means the plant which have only roots. Other parts are not present on it, like stem, root, leaves, and other. Yes, stump grow. Does it bear leaves? Yes, it bear leaves. How will a plant grow? How do plants produce flowers? Yes, they will grow and produce flowers because of the tissues present in plants. The tissues undergo cell divisions and produce more cells. That cells undergo different processes and produces flowers, leaves, branches, and helps in the growth. Okay, there are two types of plant tissues. First one is meristematic tissue and the second one is permanent tissue. Meristematic tissue, what it do in plants? Tissue that bring about overall growth and repair of the plant is called meristematic tissue. It found at the growing parts of a plant, such as at the root, such as at the tips of roots, stems, and branches. In meristematic tissue, based on its functions and location, it is divided into three types again. First one is apical meristem, lateral meristem, intercalary meristem. Apical meristem helps in the growth of the length of the plant. Lateral meristem or cambium helps in the growth in the girth of the stem. Intercalary meristem helps in the growth of branches, leaves, and flower. Okay. And the second one, tissue in plants, permanent tissue. It is made up of cells which have lost their ability to multiply. The permanent tissues are of three types. First one is dermal tissue, second one is ground tissue, third one is vascular tissue. Dermal tissue, we find this type of tissue over the entire surface of the plant body. This tissue helps plant by protecting them from the parasitic invasion and prevents loss of water from plant, give mechanical support to the plant. What do ground tissue in plants? This tissue forms the bulk of plant body, helps in packing other tissues. There are mainly three types of ground tissues present in plants. First one is parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Let us learn about these tissues. Parenchyma. Parenchyma again divided into three tissues. First one is chlorenchyma. Chlorenchyma contains chloroplast. It participates in photosynthesis. In photosynthesis, that is food preparation process. The second one is erenchyma. Erenchyma contains air spaces in between cells, helps in floating. Mainly these erenchyma tissue observed in aquatic plants which helps them to float on water. The third one is storage parenchyma. Helps in stores water, food and waste materials. Okay, these are the types in parenchyma. The second one is collenchyma. Thick-walled cells provide structural support to the plant. Sclerenchyma, also thick-walled, tightly packed cells, provides mechanical support to the plant. That means collenchyma and sclerenchyma help plant in providing mechanical support to it. These are the tissues present in ground tissues. Vascular tissue. It is of two types, xylem and phloem. Xylem allows water and minerals absorbed from the soil to travel upward in the plant. Phloem serves to conduct the food or sugar synthesized in the leaves to flow upward and downward so that food reaches all other regions. Let us observe these tissues in the stem of dicot plant, and you can observe here this is the meristematic tissue and this one is vascular, xylem and phloem. Ground tissue, this is the dermal tissue. These are the tissues present in animal tissues. Animals also have tissues, and these tissues perform different kinds of functions. Like in plants, the tissues present in animals are epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue, nervous tissue. First one, epithelial tissue. What this epithelial tissue do? Thin protective layer of cells generally located on the outer surface of the body, on the surface of the internal organs too. There are three distinct types of epithelial cells, mainly squamous epithelium, cuboidal epithelium, columnar epithelium. Squamous epithelium found in esophagus, lining of mouth, lining of blood vessels and lungs alveoli. Function of squamous epithelium, where transportation of substances selectively occurs through permeable membrane of these cells. The second one is cuboidal epithelium. It is commonly found in exocrine glands like salivary glands, lining of ureters and provide mechanical support to the salivary glands. What is the function of cuboidal epithelium? Secretion of enzymes and absorption of water and minerals in ureters. Third one is columnar epithelium. It is found in bronchi of respiratory tract, uterine tubes, uterus, bladder and digestive tract. Columnar epithelium functions are absorption and secretion of enzymes and mucus. Let us observe the simple squamous epithelium. This is simple squamous epithelium, simple cuboidal and simple columnar. Simple means only it contains single layer of cells. If you observe here, more than one layer of cells observed here, this is called stratified. Stratified squamous, stratified cuboidal and pseudo stratified columnar tissues. Okay, and the second one is muscular tissue. What muscular tissue do in our body? Because of the muscles only we move our body parts, we walk, we run. Okay, muscle tissue is made up of muscle fibers. They are so named because of their long fiber-like shape. Muscles bring about movement of body parts and locomotion in organs. The types of muscle cells in human beings are three types. They are striated muscles, unstriated muscles and cardiac muscles. Where striated muscles located and what do they do? They are long, cylindrical and unbranched and have many nuclei in cytoplasm of these cells. Particularly these cells have dark and light bands in them. That is why these cells are called as striated muscles. These are attached to bones, hence we call it as um, bone muscles. Helps in the movement of limbs whenever we want. These are the voluntary muscles. That means voluntary means whenever we want, then only we can move the parts. Unstriated muscles. There are spindle shaped shorter cells, one nucleus per cell. There are no striations in the cell. These muscles present in the walls of hollow internal organs like stomach, intestines, bladder, uterus, blood vessels. These are involuntary muscles. That means the function of these muscles are not under our control. Helps in the movement of food in digestive tract. Okay, and the third one is cardiac muscles. Structurally it is similar to striated muscles and functionally it is similar to unstriated muscles. It is these muscles present in the walls of heart, helps in pumping and receiving of blood to various body parts by contraction and relaxation of these muscles. Let us observe these muscles structures. See, this one is the striated muscles. You can observe the bands, black and white bands, cross striations. So we are called it as striated muscles. Okay, number of nuclei is present in cell. We observe non-striated muscles. There are no bands, black and white bands in the cells. Single nucleus is present. Ends are blunt ends. These are non-striated muscles. If you observe these muscles, branched muscles, it have many nuclei, and these muscles have striations in it. Cardiac muscles. Connective tissue. Connective tissue helps in binding of other tissues and organs together and provide framework and support to various organs in the body. Examples of connective tissue are areolar tissue, adipose tissue, cartilage, bone and blood. Let us observe and let us learn about these tissues in later on slides. Areolar tissue. This is the tissue, loose connective tissue widely distributed in the body that contains collagen fibers, reticular and few elastic fibers. The location of these fibers are found between the skin and muscles and around the blood vessels and nerves. Provides support and strength to various organs. The second one is adipose tissue. Adipose tissue stores fat. The location of adipose tissue is below the skin and around internal organs. It helps in thermal insulator, mechanical protection and energy storage. The third one is cartilage. It is a soft bone with widely spaced cells in small cavities, a rubbery matrix. We can bend and if leave means it gets its own position. Location of this cartilage tissue, external ear, larynx, around trachea, joint surfaces, joints, the growth zones of bones between ribs. This cartilage is located. Function of this cartilage is eases joint movements, resist compression at joints, holds airway open, and gives a particular shape to the fishes, cartilaginous fishes like Scoliodon. Now you are observing the adipose tissue. This is the adipose tissue which is present below the skin and around the internal organs. These are the adipocytes. And now you are observing the areolar tissue. These are the fibers present in this tissue. And now you are observing the tip of nose which has cartilage. This white one is cartilage. Bone. It consists of widely spaced cells in lacunae matrix in concentric onion-like layers, hard mineralized matrix. Bone makes up skeleton. Skeleton gives support to our body and gives definite shape to our body. And it also protects the soft organs like brain, heart and other internal organs. And these bones are made up of calcium and phosphorus. Okay, blood. Blood is a fluid connective tissue. It consists of red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets and fluid part called plasma. Location of blood is it flows in the blood vessels and also it is present in heart or completely cardiovascular system. Function. transports food materials, hormones, gases, waste materials. Wherever they have to transport, this blood transport that materials to their destinations. Ligament, it is another type of connective tissue that connect bones at joints and holds them in position. That means it connects to bones at joints. Tendon, it is also a connective tissue which joins muscle to the bone. Tendon joins the muscle to the bone. It is made up of collagen protein. Okay, let us observe some of the pictures. Now you are observing the blood. Blood has red blood cells. Red blood cells transport oxygen and carbon dioxide. Now you are observing the white blood cells, neutrophil, monocyte, lymphocyte, basophil, eosinophil. These are all the white blood cells which are the frontline workers to defend our body from the parasites and foreign bodies. And the third one cells are platelets. These are the platelets which helps in blood clotting whenever we get cut, whenever the blood vessel broke. And you are observing the ligament. Ligament joins two bones here, and this one is tendon. Tendon connects bone to muscles. And now you are observing the bone cells. These bone cells are made up of calcium and phosphorus, and osteocyte cells produces these bone cells. The fourth one, tissue, that is nervous tissue. Nervous tissue consists of nerve cells and neurons. A bundle of nerve fibers or axons of nerve cells form nerves. Not only nerves forms because of neurons. Our brain and spinal cord is also made up of nerve cells or neurons. A nerve cell or neuron is a structural and functional unit of the nervous system. Why we are calling it as structural means all the parts in the nervous system are made up of neurons or nerve cells. Okay. Neurons transfer information from body parts to brain, spinal cord, and brain to body parts. A typical nerve cell consists of the following parts. This one is the cell body. Cell body contains nucleus. In the projections from the cell body are called dendrons or dendrites. This one is the axon. This one is the axon. These are the telodendrites. So nerve cell is called as the structural and functional unit of nervous system. This helps in the transportation of information. Which tissue helps plants to produce branches and flowers? Intercalary meristem helps the plant to produce branches and flowers. What are the uses of cardiac muscles? Cardiac muscles helps in transportation of blood from body parts to heart and heart to body parts. What would happen if plant do not have meristematic tissue? What meristematic tissue do actually in plants? It helps in growth of shoot and roots, and helps in the growth of girth of the plant, and helps in producing the new branches, leaves, flowers. So these are all the functions of meristematic tissue. If meristematic tissue is not present in plant means these functions do not occur. These activities do not occur in plant. Plant growth declines. Write examples for cartilaginous bones in our body. Cartilaginous bones location is tip of our nose, our external ears, our vocal cords, and the C-shaped cartilaginous rings present in our trachea, and some other are there. Organs. An organ is a collection of different tissues which work together to do particular work in living beings. Most important organs in human body are sense organs. Taking care of sense organs provide good health, which leads to better livelihood. Each sense organ has special cells called sensory receptors. Those respond to particular type of stimulus. They give information about environment around us. Let us learn about these sense organs. Sense organs are the gateways of knowledge. Without sense organs, we can't able to learn, we can't able to sense any changes which occurs around us. So they are very most important organs. So other organs are also very important. First one is eye. Eye is the organ that senses light, helps in seeing things. Light first passes through the cornea of eye. You are observing the cornea here, this one, which is a clear outer layer that protects the eye. Light enters the eye through an opening called pupil. Here, this one, you can observe the pupil here. Later it penetrates into pupil. The light then passes through the lens, which focuses it on the retina. Here this one is the lens and this is the retina. Focuses it on the retina at the back of the eye. The retina contains light receptor cells. These cells send nerve impulses to the optic nerve. You can observe the optic nerve here, which carries the impulses to the brain. The brain interprets the impulses and tells us about what we are seeing. So we are seeing with our eyes means indirectly we are seeing that with our brain. Okay. So light first falls on cornea, later it penetrates into pupil, later it falls on the lens. Light focuses this lens focuses this light on retina. Retina converts this light into nerve impulse, and this nerve impulse was given to the optic nerve. Optic nerve carries this information to the brain, and brain tells us what is we are seeing now. This is how eye functions. How to take care of our eyes? Wash eyes 3 to 4 times in a day. Keep the distance between the book and eyes about 25 centimeters while reading. Don't give continuous stress and strain to the eyes. Stop the work for some time whenever your eyes feel stressed. Eat food materials like green leafy vegetables, carrots, which are rich in vitamin A. Work under good lighting. Don't rub your eyes if anything falls in them. Just wash the eyes immediately. Consult the eye specialist, ophthalmologist immediately whenever you face any vision related problems. Avoid to seeing lightning, gas welding spark, eclipse with a naked eye. So donate your sight, make blind one's future bright. It is very good to donate the organs after our demise. Conjunctivitis is a viral disease which occurs to eye. Symptoms of the conjunctivitis are redness in the eye, inner eyelid, more tears than usual, thick yellow discharge that crust over the eyelashes, especially after sleep, green or whitish discharge from the eye, itchy eyes, burning eyes, blurred vision. These are the symptoms of conjunctivitis. How this conjunctivitis spread from one person to other? Through air, water, handkerchiefs and towels used by the affected person. Treatment: antiviral drugs. This is about eye. Now I am moving on to ear. What ear do? Ear helps in hearing or listening. Ear is the organ that senses sound. Sound waves enter the auditory canal. You are observing the auditory canal here. This is the external ear. This is the auditory canal. Auditory canal travel to the tympanum. This is the tympanum. We usually call it as Karnaberi. They strike the tympanum and make it vibrate. That vibration then travels through the several other structures inside the ear and reach the cochlea. The cochlea is a coiled tube filled with liquid. The liquid moves in response to the vibrations, causing tiny hair cells lining in cochlea to bend. In response, the hair cells send nerve impulses to the auditory nerve, which carries the impulses to the brain. The brain interprets the impulses and tells us what we are hearing. Ears also responsible for the sense of balance. Not only hearing, ears also helps in the sense of balance. Okay. And ear is the organ that senses sound. Sound enters the auditory canal. We already learnt about it. How to take care of our ear? Do not insert any sharp edged object in the ears to clean it. If any blockage occurs due to ear wax, use the ear drops or a few drops of hydrogen peroxide oil to loosen it. A specialist may be consulted whenever needed. It is very dangerous to pour boiled oils, leafy juices in the ear. Sometimes it may cause deafness. So do not pour any leafy juices or boiled oils inside the ear. Skin. Our skin has cutaneous receptors to sense the touch. Skin is the longest organ in our body. Touch is the ability to sense pressure. Pressure receptors are found mainly in the skin. They are especially concentrated on tongue, lips, face, palms of the hands, and soles of the feet. That means the sensitivity is more in those areas. Some touch receptors sense differences in temperature or pain. It also contains separate receptors such as tactile receptors for touch, Pacinian corpuscles for pressure, nociceptors for temperature. That means we are sensing the heat or cold means nociceptors present in our skin works. Pacinian corpuscles works on pressure. When anybody pinches, when anybody breathes us, we can feel that pain, pressure because of the receptors. You are observing the pimples on our surface. Why pimples comes to the people who are in teenage? Why do people in adolescent age got more pimples when compared to other age groups? Because when you hit puberty, there is puberty. When you hit puberty, there is an increase in sex hormones called androgens. The excess hormones cause your oil glands to become overactive, enlarge and produce too much oil or sebum. Generally, these glands produce sebum usually, but in adolescent age, these glands produce more sebum when compared to other ages. When there is too much sebum, the pores or hair follicles become blocked with skin cells. The increase in oil also resulted in the overgrowth of bacteria. If blacked pores becomes infected or inflamed, a pimple forms. We should not scratch the pimple, it will leave the scar on our face. So what we have to do, we have to wash our face with cool water many times in a day. Okay. Staphylococcus is the bacteria which is the reason for acne. If you feel any redness, itching, discoloration and rashes appear on the skin, immediately consult the dermatologist or skin doctor. And another one, sense organ, tongue. What tongue do? Taste receptors are found in tiny bumps on the tongue called taste buds. You are observing the taste buds here. The taste buds are located in the walls of the papillae. Here these are the papillae. Inside the papillae, taste buds are located. There are separate taste receptors for sweet, salty, sour, bitter and meaty taste. There are different types of taste sensing receptors present on our tongue. The meaty taste is called umami. The taste receptor cells located in the taste buds on the top and side of the tongue sample flavors from the food and drink as they pass by on the way to the stomach. These taste receptors cluster in small mucous membrane projections called papillae. That means when we chew food, the chemicals present in the food washes the taste buds. That chemicals are converted into nerve impulses and that nerve impulses are carried to the brain. Then brain tells us what is the taste of that food. How to take care of your tongue? Clean and wash the tongue before going to bed at night and after raising up in the morning. Wash the mouth cavity after eating the food. That means whenever you are washing your teeth, then you should wash your tongue too. Nose. In our nose, nasal cavity is lined up with mucous membrane in small areas. Olfactory receptors are present in the mucous membrane. The sense of smell or olfaction begins with the chemical events in the nose. See, these are the nasal pores. This is the nasal cavity. This nasal cavity is lined up with mucous membrane. This mucous membrane has olfactory receptors. Whenever we inhale air, the chemicals present in the air stuck to the are dissolved in the mucous membrane. That chemicals turns into nerve impulses by receptors and these nerve impulses carried to the brain. Then brain tells us about what is the smell of that particular object, that may be the good or bad. Take proper care of your nose by washing it with the water as you take bath and during nasal infection by washing them with lukewarm salt water. That means lukewarm salt water kills the microbes. Do not put fingers in your nose. Do not dig in your nose. Do not pour hot oils or castor oil in nose. If you get infection in nose, consult ENT specialist immediately. Ear, nose and throat doctor. Check your progress. How do we hear sounds through ear? The vibrations came from the sound generator received by the external ear, and it leads to the auditory canal, later tympanum, later bones in the mid-ear, inner ear, later they transformed into cochlea. There too, that sound waves are transported to brain as nerve impulses converted by the receptors which is present in cochlea. Name the type of receptors in nose. Olfactory receptors. What are the two main functions of ear? Ear helps in listening and also maintains the body balance. Key points. All living beings are made up of cells. Cells are the structural and functional units of living beings. All cells share common components. They are called plasma membrane or cell membrane, cytoplasm and the genetic material. Basically, cells are divided into two types based on the membrane around the nucleus. First one is prokaryotic cells do not have nuclear membrane around the nucleus. Eukaryotic cells have prominent nucleus. Plant cells have plastids, cell wall and large sized vacuole, whereas animal cells do not have them. Animal cells have centrioles and small sized vacuoles are present in. All organisms are made up of one or more cells. All the life functions of an organism occur within the cells. All cells come from pre-existing cells. These are the main principles of cell theory proposed by Schleiden and Schwann, Rudolf Virchow. Mitosis occurs in all vegetative cells and meiosis occurs in reproductive cells to form gametes. Plants have different kinds of tissues called meristematic tissue and the permanent tissue. In permanent tissue, we have dermal tissue, ground tissue and vascular tissue. Animals have various types of tissues called epithelial, connective, muscular and nervous tissues. An organ is a collection of different tissues which work together to do particular work in living beings like plants and animals. Sense organs are the gateways of knowledge. We have to protect them. In multicellular organisms, different types of organs present to do particular works in them. Various organs form organ systems in multicellular organisms. Organ systems makes up an organism. Let us answer for these questions. Practice for learning outcomes. Write the organelles present in a cell. What are the organelles present in a cell? Mitochondria, lysosomes, Golgi complex, endoplasmic reticulum, and vacuoles, chloroplast. These are all the organelles. Write the differences between prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Nuclear membrane do not visible around the genetic material in prokaryotic cells. Nuclear membrane is visible in around the genetic material in eukaryotic cells. That means nuclear membrane is present in eukaryotic cells. In prokaryotic cells, nuclear membrane is absent. In which cells mitosis and meiosis occur? Mitosis occurs in somatic cells, meiosis occurs in reproductive cells. Why do cells show diversity? Explain the role of meristematic tissue in plant. Cells show diversity because of its functions. Every cell has its unique function. To perform that function, cell has their unique structure. So to do their works, cells have diversity in their structure and function. Explain the role of meristematic tissue in plant. Meristematic tissue helps plants in the growth of shoot and root, helps in the growth of girth of plant, helps in the production of new branches, leaves, flowers, and some other are there. Draw the diagrams of plant and animal cells. Explain the differences. Plant cells have chloroplast, cell wall, cell membrane, and large sized vacuole, and centrioles are absent. Animal cells do not have cell wall, but they have cell membrane. Chloroplasts are absent. Small sized vacuoles are present, and centrioles are present. Illustrate the connective tissues and their function. There are types of connective tissues. You have to write the names and their location and functions. What are the measures suggested by you to protect ear and skin? You have to write 3 suggestions if it is a 3 marks question. You have to write 5 suggestions if it is 5 marks question. What are the differences between mitosis and meiosis? Mitosis occurs in somatic cells, meiosis occurs in reproductive cells. New chromosomes are similar to the parent cell. Chromosomes reduced by half here. 2 daughter cells present formed in mitosis, 4 daughter cells formed in meiosis. Name the fluid connective tissue, that is blood. Dash organelle digest waste material present in cell, lysosomes. Example for prokaryotic living being, bacteria, cyanobacteria. Structural and functional units of living beings. A. Tissues. B. Organs. C. Organ systems. D. Cells. Which is correct? D. Find the odd organelle on account of plant cell. Chloroplast, centrioles, cell wall, large sagelbug. Centrioles are absent in plant cell, so the option is B. Type of animal tissue useful in joins the muscle with bone. Which joins the muscle in with the bone? Areola, adipose, cartilage, tendon. Tendon is the correct answer. So the option is D. Match the following plant tissues with respect to their function. Chlorenchyma helps in photosynthesis. Sclerenchyma gives mechanical support to plant. Dermal tissue cover over the plant body. Vascular tissue transport water and food. Cambium growth in the girth of the stem. So chlorenchyma 2, sclerenchyma 3, dermal tissue 4, vascular tissue 5, cambium 1. These are the answers for this. Match the following. This is Pavitra, School Assistant Biological Science, JPHS Gaddipalli, Mandal, Surapet district. I will meet you again with another topic. Until then, bye.